Today, the A Collision with Purpose Project Spotlight is on Mr. Raymond Thomas. Mr. Thomas is the president of Mapleton Improvement Coalition. He's the director of sales and marketing, Atlanta Region, Allied Financial, and he's an advocate for social change. Folks, let us welcome Mr. Thomas to the A Collision with Purpose Project Under the Spotlight.
Glad to be here, Dr. Stephenson, and it's a pleasure and honor to talk to you this afternoon.
Mr. Thomas, for many individuals, the concept or the notion of purpose is somewhat challenging. It's not a routine for them to focus on what is purpose. So I believe that any serious conversation relating to purpose should begin with a definition of purpose. Would you be so kind as to define purpose for our listeners and do so in a general way?
Okay, well, I'll give it a shot. For me, purpose is simply what God has provisioned for you for your life. There are many people who will live a life without knowing what their purpose is. And so it took me a long while. You know, I've been like many of the folks listening to this podcast. Purpose for me, like I said, is when you figure out what God's provision for you is in this life. It's sort of like I tell my grandson, you know, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You know, that the world is like a jigsaw puzzle, and what you have to do is to figure out your little piece and stick it in that puzzle so it fits. So to me, that's what purpose is.
So finding your place as assigned by God.
That's right.
Is key. So given what you've just said and God being such an important, you know, part of what a person's purpose is, would you say that it is important for an individual, including yourself, to develop an understanding of their purpose?
Oh, without question. I mean, you have to be able to figure out, again, what your role is in this life, and it's like your legacy. You know, if you don't know what you're here for and where you're going, then you're going to be lost. And so that's the thing that I think I've figured it out, but you know, there's still days when I have to make adjustments.
So still days when you have to make adjustments. So talking about those adjustments, today and in your current state, where you are in your life right now, can you articulate what your specific purpose is for our listeners?
Yeah, and it's not only Laxley, my purpose, but it has evolved into my family's purpose. You know, my wife, daughter, and grandson, and our purpose. It took us a while, like I said earlier, but our purpose that we have figured out is to serve others. And for example, you mentioned earlier that I'm president of the Mapleton Improvement Coalition, and you know, that's a nonprofit organization that's in my community, and we have 11 members of the board of directors. We don't get paid a dime, and but I'm fulfilling my purpose in helping my community redevelop and get revitalized. And so our family purpose is to help others, and in helping others, we help our community.
So the community component is so important.
Right.
Because yes, and I can relate to that. Now, you know, there's a notion of aligning oneself with their purpose and living on purpose. Can you explain what that means and what it means for you and your family, of course?
Yeah, well, you know, we, once we've kind of figured out, you know, what our purpose is, we developed three core principles to go along with our purpose. And those three principles are as follows. One, we stay committed to God, number one. Number two is to be committed to our family. And number three, to be committed to our community. Our goal is when we interact with others or we move into a community, that those interactions or those communities, when we leave, are actually better because we were there or because we interacted with others.
So as you walk through life and areas that you have, you left your footprint, the whole idea is to make sure you leave things better than when you started.
And when we leave.